I don't want to be the idiot who starts the stream with "Are we live?" But I mean, be the idiot. Are we live? Are we live? But I mean, be the idiot.
I think you just let that
Oh,
one
brilliant!
go.
Oh, was it cut off or was it included?
No, we're live.
We are live. Great.
You were
Well,
the
I'm glad
first
that made
person
the
to
cut.
say it.
Fantastic. Of course I was.
We'll just give it a minute or two, see if anyone says anything. Like hello. Oh. Gone from 7 people to 4 people.
I'll give it a couple of minutes then, and we'll make a start, shall we?
Yeah. Mac. How you doing,
Hello, Mac.
dude?
How you doing?
Just gonna give it a couple of minutes, guys. Just anyone that the audio stream's current bitrate is lower than the recommended bitrate. We recommend that you use an audio stream bitrate of blah blah. I don't know what that means.
Sounds clear to me.
Is it?
Yeah, sounds okay on the stream.
Good.
Sounds good here.
Just YouTube being an a-hole. Why am I'm not for Discord those. Alpha Media.
Hey Mac, it's me Norfire. Only cause he reached out to me. What's up, buddy?
Okay, what we looking at time wise?
I think we're ready to make a start. Whenever
Yep.
you're ready.
Okay.
Let's do it.
Right, hello, welcome everyone. Thanks for joining us. It's only going to be about an hour's worth of stream. We just wanted to quickly sort of like go over some of the bits that we're planning on releasing in the 4.4 update or 0.44 update, and that includes also the holiday winter event. So first of all, my name's Ryan. I'm the lead developer at KY Creations. Everyone else want to introduce themselves?
Yeah, I'll jump in. I'm James. I'm also a developer on the project. I will introduce everyone else, I guess.
Yeah,
as well.
yeah.
Okay, so we got Denai. He's our community manager.
Hello.
Who handles a lot of our Discord and is hopefully on the looking at the chat as well. We've got Northfire, who is one of our moderators, and we also got Taco, who's another moderator. And last but not least, we've also got Chris, who does our 3D work. He doesn't use a mic generally, but he is with us. So if you've got any questions for 3D stuff, then feel free to stick them in the chat, and he may have an answer.
Yeah. Okay. Right. I just got to get Discord up, so I've got a little list of things. Let me turn. Can you hear music?
Don't stand up.
Pardon?
Yes.
Right, stop that. Okie dokie, skip. I just want to be able to see the chat as well. Not that I'm. Okay, so in this update we've done a bunch of changes to the map as it currently is. Again, we'll always be tweaking things to the map. But as you can see, the map is currently covered in snow. This is part of our weather system that is already currently in game. It's just that people don't tend to be able to play long enough before we release a major update for it to get to the winter to start snowing stuff like that. But this is what it looks like, and it will start like this in the winter event. During the winter event, it will only ever be like snow, and snowstorms, so it'll always be snowing. We've also introduced or re-enabled our temperature system for the weather and the time of day. Let me just put this up so.
It's probably worth mentioning that we're going to be sort of showing some things off in editor, and when doing things in editor, they can sometimes appear a little bit different to how they actually look in the final product and all that.
Yeah,
So
yes, definitely.
Just be aware of that.
We will probably show a little bit off of the current build that we're testing. And if you want to see more gameplay on that of this current build, Mac has told me that he will be streaming afterwards, so I'm sure you all know Mac. So yeah, so this is how the current map will look. We've added some new areas. We've added some new camps. With new style cliffs and rocks, just to blend in with the landscape a lot more. We've gone through, it took about 3 to 4 days to go through and replace all the cliffs and rocks from the old system. The main reason that we did it is 1 for performance, 2 for looks, and also this time it makes some, because obviously we want to start working on the build system a lot more. We thought that it'd be nice to be able to build off the edge of cliffs and stuff like that. So this just gives you a bit more of a platform to be able to build in some weird and strange places, and it just makes it a lot easier to be able to do that. And I will
mention that it's not as easy to get stuck in these cliffs as well, which is a problem that we've had in the past with
yes, rocks. Yeah. So the collisions is a lot improved. Stuff like that, and you'll notice that a lot of the faces of the rock are quite sort of like vertical. They're not as sort of leaning down and stuff, but it's going to make it harder as a player to just sort of like run up or scale up them like you used to in previous patches. But that does open it up for us to start introducing sort of like abseiling and rock climbing. So you're introducing tools and mechanics to be able to climb down them using ropes and climb up them using pickaxes and climbing axes and stuff like that. And we have got assets, models ready for all stuff like that. But this just opens it up for us. I will press play. This may take a little while. Slap on my coffee while I do. I know how I get when I talk a lot.
Be drinking that coffee.
Yeah. Yeah, as you can see, what running in the editor takes a little longer sometimes for things to work because it's not baked stuff. I have to just give it a second just to. When this is actually released, to the public, there may be additional bits. So the update isn't fully in yet. There's a lot of things that we're still adding and talking about. Like you saw the snowman at the beginning. That's just a static model at the moment, but we're planning on having that so you can go around and knock them down and collect things from stuff like that. A bit like in the Halloween event. But let's just run out of here quickly. As you can see there, the temperature things come up because your temperature will drop rather quickly. The whole main idea to do is like in any survival game, is you will get cold, so you need to find better gear, better outfits. But it's easy to go to any barrel, campfire, and stuff like that to actually warm yourself up. You can also go in any building, and you can see there in the top right hand corner you've now got an indoor buff. So when you're inside a building or part of a building, you see that might pop, that'll go away now, come back. It just means that you're undercover, and if that icon is showing, then your player's temperature will go to like a room temperature. It's 100 degrees Fahrenheit normal, because that in centigrade is very hot.
Yeah, we work in Celsius, so we have to.
Not in the winter. 100 is middle of the summer, almost Texas weather.
Okay. Alright.
You might have been stood near the campfire earlier, so it might have like heated you up.
Yeah, so as you can see, the temperature went up pretty quickly, and it's sort of like hovering. It will fluctuate. But that'll happen in any main building. It won't happen in smaller buildings like this, because obviously you haven't got enough room to be able to keep your character cool. But we've now also added. Let's run up here. Wanted to show you a bit of let me just turn on this. Okay, so as you can see, this is the mesh I'm standing on at the moment is part of the new cliffs. I haven't painted any grass on it at the moment, which I probably should. But so as you can see, you can build on them quite nicely, nice flat. So any kind of cliff land and that, you should be able to build quite nicely on it. So I'll just plonk some bits down here. And just as you can see around the edges of my screen, I have slowed that down since the last build that went up that Mac was playing yesterday. That won't sort of like come on quite as quick now, as we go down to about 74. If I open this up, and go inside, as you can see, you have an indoor buff inside your building as well. Still looks like it needs a bit of finessing.
No, but I think this is working nicely now, where you can warm yourself by building your own, your own structure. And maybe in the future we can see about having it so that that building up walls and stuff contributes to that buff. So you can't have like a hollow house and still get the heat buff, 'cause that doesn't make so much sense. But for the moment, yes, it's given that we've only just introduced it, housing will keep you warm whether it's built or not.
Yeah, you got to remember every mechanic or new thing that we do add to the game is at the end of the day it's all subject to change. We might add something and then it totally not work. None of you guys like it. That it's it's pain in the ass mechanic or anything like that. So we might just tear the thing out or it might completely change. So you have to look at every new mechanic that we add, whether it's annoying or you would like it or you don't like it or anything like that, may change, and it's just like a prototype version of that mechanic. Um, and we'll just build it up over time. You've got to remember we're developing this game as we go, kind of thing. It's not like we've got a full game and we're just adding little bits to it and improving it. We're actually building the game out. So yeah, so it would probably make sense that if you haven't got any walls up, that maybe you don't even get that buff. But for the winter event, we'll just have it as normal. It still needs a bit of fine tweaking, but I just wanted to show you that so you can actually go into any build and have that. New cliffs.
We talk a bit more about the winter event itself.
Yeah,
and
go
what
for
players
it.
can expect. Okay, so I need to make sure we get the dates right before I say it wrong, but I can say for sure that the event is going to start tomorrow on the 10th on the staging branch. It's going to go through a week of testing, and during that period we'll also be making like additions and changes and things like that. The proper event, as it goes public, will happen on the 17th of December, which is in about a week from now, and will go on into the new year. We do have a finishing date. I just don't have it on hand, and I don't want to tell you the wrong date.
7th.
So 7th.
Yeah.
That sounds correct. Yeah. So between the so just to reiterate, from the 17th of December to the 7th of January, the event will run. And during that time, we've got some features. I don't know how you want to show this off, Ryan, or if you just want me to sort of launch into it. To do with the drops.
Yeah, but it would probably be worth actually booting up the actual the game on Steam and then run through. Or I could just speed up time and change the time here, couldn't I? Actually, that'd be better, wouldn't
It's
it?
not bad idea. Yeah.
Okay, let's come out this. Okay, so
So I'll
go on.
sorry,
You explain. You explain why I do
Okay,
this.
so for anyone who played through our Halloween event, you'll be familiar with the idea that for Halloween we had it so that you could earn points by destroying these pumpkins across the map, and then after gaining enough points, you could take on Halloween Jack. It was like a little boss that we put together. So in a kind of an inspired by fashion, the winter event is kind of its own thing. But in the winter event, you can also get points, and to get points, you need to get presents. It's a very festive event. So, and anyone who's been playing the game recently will know that we recently introduced airdrops. Well, airdrops are going to work very similar, but a little bit differently now, because instead of being a normal airdrop, in this particular case, it's going to be a Santa-like figure on his motorized sled in the sky, who will drop presents for you. And by collecting the presents, you can earn points, which will contribute to festive rewards, which we can talk about in a bit. So it's going to be a bit of a scramble to get across the map, secure the locations, because those locations are now guarded by enemies, and the spawn points can be anywhere on the map. So you may need to sort of improvise a bit, but yeah, it should be good fun, and probably best if Ryan sort of shows you now what to sort of expect.
Still got that. You see what I was talking about, the blue tint around that with the volumetric clouds causes that weird blue outline around transparency.
Yeah, I remember Rent and I was showing us that one way back.
I have got myself an outfit. Just
Definitely. What was I going to say? Sorry, the snowy map and the nighttime just, I think, work together really nicely.
Yes, I will cheat, Speedy, unless you really want to watch me sit there and pause for breath while we're trying to show everything off.
Yeah, for sake of demonstration, it's no trouble at all. So what time is it right now in game?
That's it. There we go. Seriously? Oh my god.
Do we have a TP over that way? Maybe.
Yes, I have actually.
Now this is cheating.
Yeah, but there's a bloody... You know what's here, don't you?
Oh, right. Well, I mean that's fine. We can shut that off as well.
Is it?
Sure, we'll get to that in a bit.
No, I'm talking about the...
Oh, I think it's behind you. I think you went past it. It's back across that bridge.
Is it?
Yeah, it's just behind those logs.
Oh yeah, so it is a bloody great present. I walked right past it.
Yep, missed it.
Ah!
So I mean, yeah, you want to get out of there. Now we just paid the price for cheating and
Yeah.
doing
So as
TP there. That would normally happen.
one other thing that's also changed. We've also updated all the firearm sound effects. The game a bit loud. Hang on. Turn it down a little bit. Yeah, we got noted that a lot of times that the weapons didn't sound right, so we've updated the weapons. And they also are affected by if you're inside a building or outside as well, so they'll have an actual tail of the sound effect. But basically you'll have to just kill these dudes. But you can
Still like this dark garbage.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to just take this and I'm going to TP somewhere else because they're very noisy.
Nice.
It is
So,
playing up a bit.
I mean, you'll be able to see it a lot more in game when you're trying to like actually find these yourselves. Oh no. But yeah, there's the way in which the airdrops are now skinned is quite cool, and you can hear the sound of like sleigh bells and stuff overhead, so that'll tell you like, oh look, there's an airdrop ahead, so that'll inform you to look up and see where the drop is. This is a thing we see very often in Unreal.
Yes, every day.
There. Happens.
While that's loading back up. So yeah, the reason that happened is because of TPing about the engine crashed. But as you saw, at the moment you only get candy canes out of them. I did what I've discussion with the rest of the team to see what else we should actually put in the thing. I was thinking about because Denai, you mentioned about some like cup of coffees and stuff like that to warm the player up and.
Ideas for stocking fillers welcome.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the chocolate bars as well to help top up the energy.
Energy and stuff, yeah.
As you get colder, the thing that gets affected right now is your energy will go down. So if you're cold, things like chocolate bars are a good source of, sort of maintaining yourself. Should we have a? I mean, since we've got a moment to wait, should we pop into some of the stuff that Chris has been working on?
Yeah, let's talk about the vehicles quickly. We'll come back to the event. Sorry, we're sort of jumping about a bit. I didn't expect a crash there. So Chris has, but for the last couple of months now, maybe Chris, what about 6 weeks, you've been working on some new models for vehicles. And basically, what these vehicles are intended for is we want to swap out all the static vehicles in the world. So you can actually walk around, lift up the bonnet, and lift up the boot, the what do Americans call it?
The hood and the trunk.
The hood and the trunk. And from the hood, you'll be able to go in there and get mechanical parts, or even a car battery, or parts that you can use to repair a vehicle. And in the hood or the trunk, sorry, you'll be able to find stuff like ammunition and resources and cloth, and all stuff like that. But one other thing that we plan on doing is actually giving you the option to salvage the vehicles itself, a bit like they do in 7 Days to Die, where you walk up to it with like the wrench and stuff like that, and you can break vehicles down and stuff like that. Oh, that's just got without wheels. And these are the current models that Chris has been working on. So he's just been working on a sedan at the moment, and once we've sort of expanded it as a static actor in the world that you can interact with and stuff like that, we might end up actually making it so it's a drivable version as well, so you can actually repair them in the world and actually drive them. That's the way we want to go with vehicles. Anyway, I'm sure we'll put these images on Discord or excuse me, social media.
There is a lot of detail, so yeah.
But these are the what? A Lombo? What's a Lombo?
Probably a mistype. Probably means Lambo as in Lamborghini.
Oh, Lamborghini, right? Okay. Yeah, I don't think that kind of speed vehicle will suit well in the world. Yeah.
Yeah, we certainly don't have the straights for a Lamborghini.
Not really, and they're not really an off-road car. And Matt could tell you he does like to go off-road. If you can go off-road, where we're going, we don't need roads. That's Mac's motto, I think. But is there anything else you wanted me to add, Chris, about the vehicles? This is a high poly bake, so this is not the poly. This is sort of like we bake that thing gets baked. The detail of this gets baked down into normal maps and put in a low poly version. Right. So yeah, how are we looking? Got about half an hour left.
Is it half an hour left of the stream, not before this loads?
Yeah.
Don't worry. Doesn't take that long now.
From the movie Finch. We
definitely have lots of plans. Sorry.
Go on, yeah. No, you're right.
I was only just going to mention that, in terms of vehicles, we definitely have lots of plans to expand on that. But it's one of those things that, as the map gets bigger, it makes more sense to think more about vehicles, because that's then something you might need to get around. Whereas in the past, we've had a fairly contained area, so you haven't really needed the vehicles as much. So I feel like vehicles are something that's definitely going to grow with the world.
I could probably talk about this is a new outfit that I'm planning on adding in that you'll be able to find. around the world, and it'll be slightly better than the Winter Hiker. This is called the Winter Survival outfit. Another outfit that add-in, as well as obviously you've seen the outfits that you'll be able to unlock for during the event. So the whole idea of the event is to go to these drops. The drops will happen at midnight every night, and the idea is that you have to try and get there, take out the Thanatos team that's protecting it. There's normally could be up to 5 hazmats there at any point, and each crate will give you a certain amount of magic candy canes. Collecting those candy canes will add towards your points, and then once you've got all the points, you'll just automatically unlock
Prizes.
just want to build a ton of navigation. Mallet is there. I'm just going to change it to that outfit again. Maybe some weapons. So anything. So what I'm going to do, James is going to show them the new AI. So while I'm setting this up, if you want to talk about the new AI animals.
Definitely, yeah. So there's a couple of sides to the stuff I've been working on. The first is kind of like just new content, and then the other is an opportunity to address some of one element of some of the performance issues that we've been having, and it's kind of like two birds, one stone. So something I've been working on is some new animal AI, which works quite differently to how some of the previous AI works. I mean, from the point of view as a player, you might not necessarily realize that they work differently, but the way in which they are sort of handled and spawned is hopefully quite a bit more efficient now. So the test case for seeing how well this system works that I've been developing has been some new animals that we've been looking to implement. So at the moment, the next kind of like animals on the cards are wolves, cougars. We've got new rabbits. I have replaced out the current rabbits that we've got with the new meshes, but I want to get them on the new system as well because they're on the old system at the moment. And the thing that I've been working on to get things going with is bears. So I think way back in the day we did actually have some bear AI, but they didn't really make the cut.
I think they did for a little while, and then we removed them.
Yeah, I can't really. There must be reasons why.
That was way before we released an alpha, though.
Yeah. This is miles back, but it's about time that they got some love and attention. So they've got completely new meshes, completely new AI. They're on the new AI system, which hopefully is going to help with spawning. And depending on the results of this test with our bears, that will hopefully then inform sort of like the direction for future AI as well, including animals and anything else. And over time, that's hopefully going to help us to mitigate and then ultimately resolve some of the spikes that we're seeing. A big part of the spikes is just AI spawning and stuff, and even though they have been optimized to be as efficient as possible, just because of the way in which they are doing what they're doing, there is just a cost, unfortunately, and it's not something that we can easily resolved. So that's why we've decided to start looking at other avenues. But honestly, I'm quite happy with where things are looking now. I've done performance tests with just the bears on their own, and things seem to be looking up. So yeah, very excited to see.
Can I just interrupt? Does anyone remember of what ammo the C1911 takes?
Not off the top of my head. Hang on, I will bring up the. I can check my end. Just opening up the data table.
Sorry, man. I just. It's,
No,
either,
it's alright.
it's either 9 mils or 45s. Oh shit.
Compatible ammo type is .45.
Yeah, 45s. What's so? Okay.
So yeah, so I mean, so yeah, so that's the kind of like the why and a lot of the reasoning why the bears are a bit different. But the other side of it is just we've now got new bear logic. So you've got new wild animals to hunt, and these guys are like the first proper predators in the game. So other than just so we've obviously got human enemies that can attack you, but we haven't got any wildlife that can attack you until now. Actually, that's not true. We do have crocodiles, and they will definitely attack you, but they work in a very particular way. The bears are a lot more kind of fluid in so much as they operate more like a traditional NPC.
Which eventually the crocodiles will as well.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, but I mean the crocodiles kind of work in their own way because they live in the bayou. They have this thing of being on the land and also in the water, and the way they attack you on land is very different to how they attack you on water. And you've got the whole grab and roll thing, so they've got a lot of dynamics which is very unique to just them. Whereas the bears, they're more of like a kind of traditional mammal, so they kind of operate more similarly to other animals.
Yeah.
Also, bears are terrifying. I mean, crocodiles are terrifying as well. Not sure which I find more terrifying, but terrifying in different ways.
I think anything in water is normally more scary than anything on land.
I guess it's the fact that you might not see them beneath the water.
Yeah, it could be.
I don't know. I'd rather be in the proximity of a crocodile in the water than a bear.
Right. Let's go. So I think we've got a bit of a snowstorm about to come in. Let's go to bear. Come on, Winnie.
We did nickname him Winnie.
Oh, he's still
So
there.
the bear might be doing any number of things. Oh, he's in his little home at the moment. There you go. You can see him moving in the background. He can patrol his little area. He might go back to sort of like a little home area and have a lie down or a sit down. There's a bunch of things he could be doing. He's just as dangerous no matter what he's doing, though, to you.
He gives camouflage. Do you see that?
Yeah, I also don't have any. I'm not sure what your chances are with a pistol. But we'll see.
Oh.
So now he's spotted you. He's now basically telling you get out of my territory when he does that roar.
So if you leave, does he leave you alone?
If you go back far enough, if you stay in the vicinity, he'll go for you. I think you might have actually backed out far enough. Humans aren't necessarily like, bear food, so it's a bit more of a kind of territorial thing that he does. Also, it's surprisingly, like, bears, you don't really think of them as camouflage, but when you actually see them in their environment, they don't stand out as much as you think they might.
Oh, I can hear him!
Oh, there he is. So yeah, you've definitely annoyed him now. So bears can do several things when they're attacking. They often tend to attack in a burst and then back off, see what the situation is, and if you continue, then they'll come back at you. But they do a lot of damage if they hit. Like you can be completely leveled by bears.
Oh God,
You're in God mode, so you're alright.
Yeah,
You're safe.
I'll turn it off so you can see the kind of damage he does. I wonder why he went near me.
He also has a lot of health. Bears are remarkably resilient, as it turns out. They have very thick bones and a lot of muscles. So, yeah. He can also cause bleeding as well, so that's another risk. And he has a lot of hit points. It's a little bear king.
Because I'm curious, and I know people are probably gonna ask or be wondering, is there an area on the bear that does more damage? Like if you hit him in the head, is it gonna add more to their hit bar than if you hit him in like the leg or the butt?
Actually, at present there isn't, but throughout the previous AI system, that like heart shots and headshots are definitely a consistent kind of feature. So that might be something that would make sense.
He's stuck there, look.
Yeah, I guess. I'll say that this is very.
Put some
recently
block
added.
volumes up here.
Yeah.
He's trying to get to me.
Although this is a pretty good example of the new IK system that we're using on him. How his legs conform properly to the landscape, and how the angle of his body properly adjusts to cliffs and things. I think you've you figured out how to get around him there.
Yeah.
But this is a navigational issue, and I mean this is why we do testing before. So this is an inevited build, so stuff like this is to be expected for now. I think it's out now. Also, interestingly, when you've got a four-legged animal, when they turn and things, there's a lot of forward motion as well, which is kind of interesting.
Shit.
Oh yeah. Which is interesting in terms of like how they move and things. And a very unexpected and interesting consequence of that forward motion that we discovered was he's actually really good at getting down cliffs. Not in a bad way though, because you know something like a bear could definitely go down a cliff after you if it wanted.
Ah! God, sorry.
It's terrifying because I hear your audio before I see what you're doing. So I know he's attacked you, I just don't know where. Yeah, so I mean, had a lot of fun putting this guy together so far. I think cougars and wolves, as mentioned, I think they're going to be next on the agenda. Hopefully we'll be able to use similar kind of systems that each will be unique in their own way. I think he also needs to run into the attack charge fast after taking damage, which is something I'm learning from watching this. You think you're safe, but I've seen this bear do some.
Oh yeah, he'll probably get me up here. You look at me. So I see you up there.
The bear's head does swivel to match its target.
Going back on his head. Oh, he's doing a little roundy round circles.
I think you actually have confused him. He doesn't know where to go.
I guess.
Yeah. I think there was some rabbits around here which we could show off the much better looking rabbits, I think. The old ones really just looked a bit kind of well, they just weren't very distinct or interesting visually, so they might have run off though. Caused a bit too much of a disturbance.
I don't think I'm gonna be able to do this.
Everybody say rest in peace to Ryan.
Yeah. You hope to the hornet's nest. Paid the price. But yeah, no, I think I've covered all the main points to do with AI changes. And as I say, I think it's going to be exciting looking forward, seeing how this newer stuff can maybe be translated then into some of the older stuff that's been causing us problems, as well as just the fact that we're going to have new animals across the island and new kind of threats and dangers, each with their own interesting kind of things going on. So yeah, I think it's going to be fun taking this further. What are you doing? Oh, actually, something else we can talk about while you're on a cliff like that. So the bear, as I mentioned, has kind of like an improved system where it's using IKs to work out like its angle on the terrain, as opposed to the more primitive thing that we were doing in the past for other animals like the deer. The same principles though apply to the character, because you can see Sophia's legs are adjusting to the landscape. I think the collisions of the landscape are a little
Far away from the actual mess, yeah.
but that's got nothing to do with the IK system. So
Yeah.
the idea of an IK system is that your legs conform to the landscape or whatever object that you're on properly, as opposed to just being kind of static. So you end up with a much more kind of like natural looking motion, and yeah, that's a weird collision.
I need to fix that.
Hide in the snow. But yeah, so that generally kind of helps with the look of motion and just generally standing around. Because after we got it working for the bear, it just made a lot of logical sense to apply the same principles to the character.
I think my bandages carried on crafting while I was dead.
Oh, that's useful.
Oh, you bugger. You can hear his footsteps. He makes you jump as he... I was only looking for the rabbits. Around here somewhere. Oh, maybe we go somewhere else.
There's plenty of rabbits.
Yeah.
Plenty of rabbits in the sea. Great. So, I mean, a couple of other kind of honourable mentions of like other like kind of main things in the works. I mean, obviously there's loads and loads of stuff that we've been working on that is to do with fixes and general like optimizations and improvements. Most of that stuff we list in our patch notes every time we go out. It's a pretty substantial list, so that we've got all the normal updates, but just covering the kind of the main sort of more kind of creative kind of changes that are happening. We recently put in new waterfalls. That is in the current update, but they generally look a bit more kind of stylish, better, and they are more performance friendly, which is great. Another kind of interesting development recently is we have been kind of connecting with Epic on some of our, again, performance related things. It's a very hot topic right now. So we're looking to get some sort of more direct support with Epic to improve on our performance. So we're really hoping that that's going to help, really sort of shift things so that the game is sort of smoother for everyone. Oh yeah, here are some of the waterfalls. As you can see, they look a lot more kind of dramatic and generally more interesting. There's some dynamics going on that allow the waterfalls to use the geometry to determine where they should be and all that. So you've got a nice natural effect going on. And also they're cheaper, as I mentioned.
So yeah, as James was saying, we're now actually officially part of the UDN, which is the Unreal Development Network, which allows us to get like premium support from Epic to help us with issues that we're having with the engine or anything like that. So we're actually going to be having Epic try and assist us in improving performance with the game.
Yeah, so hopefully between the work that we're doing right now and some assistance and other. The performance tends to be a problem that is spread across many things, so it requires a lot of different things to improve to help. But pretty much everything we're doing is conscious of what can we do to improve performance in one element or another. So over the course of time, we're looking to see improvements for players.
Did we talk about food exploration?
Ah, no, we haven't.
Let's have a chat about that.
My
yeah.
textures have gone a bit funny.
Again, edge to things.
Yeah, let's see if I can get some fish. I haven't changed the icon back. Oh god. So I've accidentally overwritten the image for the the fish while I've been working. Yeah, we know the performance is the biggest problem with the game. We do everything we possibly can every patch that we release. We're constantly tweaking codes to run better. We're constantly tweaking and improving condoms.
I guess they do kind of look like that at first glance. I don't have the stream blown up all the way, but it does kind of.
So they're actually plates of food.
Yeah, so I've been working on new icons for the new meals that we're going to be putting in. So they're just like a temporary icon that I put in for the by accidentally.
And once you blow the image up, you see that it really doesn't look like them.
Yeah.
It looks it's a pot and a plate.
If I speed up time. A bit of a storm coming in at the moment. The content creator pack will eventually be available on Epic. It's just Epic works slightly different than Steam. See, with Steam we can just go in and we can create as many DLC as possible, and then just generate keys for them to be able to give out or anything like that. But with Epic, you have to put a load of documentation and media up for it, and then you have to wait 2 or 3 days for them to approve it. If there's something wrong, you then have to change it, and then it takes another 2 or 3 days to approve it. So until we've actually completely confirmed there's no more going in that pack, I don't know, have we heard anything about doing DLC on Epic? Have you heard anything, Denai?
No, I need to find out a little bit more, but I'm not entirely sure that Epic will allow you to have effectively sort of free gimmick type DLC as opposed to something that is there to be sold. The content creator pack isn't purchasable DLC; it is just effectively like a perk pack. So it might be possible, it might not. We'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah. But we might have to just come up with something ourselves so that you can put like a Steam key into the game and it unlocks it in Epic or something, I don't know. But anyway, yeah, as you can see, our tins of food, or our plates, have turned into spoiled fish, and this happens with all meats now. So standard meat, cooked meat, burnt meat will all spoil after a certain amount of time. Berries, vegetables, fruits, they will spoil, and even biomass. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I think there is such thing as DLC. It's just like I said, we have to literally, when we change the all the media to go with all the pictures for the store and that on Epic, it actually took like 5 or 6 days for them even to change it, and we had to manually contact them and say, can you know, approve this, so we, because it's sort of like outdated now kind of thing. So yeah, we have to actually manually contact them to change things. It's not like Steam where we got a back end and we can go in and do things manually.
What it's worth, Epic do handle things really very well.
Oh
in
yeah,
a lot
their,
of cases.
their customer support and their developer support and stuff like that is second to none. It's so much better than Steam.
Yeah, Steam have just had a few extra years ahead of them to sort of develop the automated processes that Epic are working on at the moment.
Yeah, that's it. And the fact is that Steam don't care about developers anymore either. Especially if you're not making us a boatload of money for them. We found that out when they wouldn't change the date back. I just want to get away from them and then...
So getting back on the topic of the rotten food,
Yep.
does it currently have any use?
No, it currently doesn't, but it doesn't mean that it's not going to leave it out, because it doesn't spoil. When it goes rotten, it doesn't actually spoil. So,
I was actually thinking it might be an alternative way to generate compost.
I don't think you can use meat for compost. Can you?
Okay,
Might
well,
be an
yeah.
application, though.
Pardon?
You mentioned the berries and stuff was what triggered me
Oh
to think
right,
that.
yeah. With berries and stuff like that. I suppose you could with fruits and vegetables. Yes, you can.
Create some mulch.
So yeah,
Add to your.
yeah.
I mean, it's just we need to think about what ends up happening to the spoiled meat. Otherwise, it's just going to build up.
Yeah. Well, I think we can eventually find some kind of use for spoiled meat. We can start.
Dog
Make
food.
It... Oh,
I
would
don't
you...
think dogs will eat spoiled meat.
No.
They're smarter than that.
I was thinking maybe
Some-
about bait traps for infected or something like that. So you could make a little bait trap that you plant on the floor and that'll attract them. So then you can sort of like throw a grenade at them or something. Something like that. But alright, what's time, guys?
We've really just got a couple of minutes left to stream. So
Okay.
I guess if anyone has any sort of last minute thoughts or comments, then now's the time.
What have we got? Have we gone over everything?
Let's have a quick look at the list.
New keys, temperature, spoiled meat.
Okay, well there is actually a little teeny tiny extra thing that is in this. I've even put it in a thing called side points, just something that I know that anyone playing the game right now would probably appreciate, which is that we've improved how the bounding box on placeable objects works. So before, if you had you had crates, boxes, containers. That's what I'm trying to say. If you had containers, it'd be very hard to place them kind of evenly next to each other because there would always be this really awkward collision issue where you just couldn't put things tight up against each other. But with the latest update, you'll be able to put down things very close together. All those collision issues are kind of resolved. So the bounding box around these objects is very tight and orderly. So you can hopefully sort of stack up objects quite close together as you want.
Sharks. Yeah. You could. I suppose we could. I don't think we want to demo them just yet because they still need some work. But after we've done the winter update, the next major update that we do is we are planning on introducing the treasure hunting and wreck diving, so that we'll be putting a lot more wrecks around the map in the oceans and stuff like that. Which is going to lead us to working on boats and stuff like that. But also, James has been working on a new fish system, which is where the bear spawning system originated from. Do you want to talk about that, James, quickly?
Yeah, I can talk about it in kind of in some broad terms. So yeah, the fish system is part of the new ocean system. Well, just on a really broad level, the oceans need redevelopment in general anyway. Again, sort of leading back to performance and also just general appearance and the fact that they're a very negative space in the game right now. So
Yeah.
for all sorts of really good reasons, the oceans do need attention. So part of that comes with, okay, so what do you want to have in the water? And things like fish and aquatic predators makes a lot of sense. So we started doing a bit of investigation there, and it was from there that I started looking into how to improve like the AI spawning and all that kind of thing. So and then that's translated across into what we now see as the bears, but the fish system is still kind of like work in progress. And I think we'll add a really good element to any kind of underwater content that we do add, because now you've got underwater predators and other hunting options and all sorts of survival elements just from that alone. And that's in combination with all the stuff that Ryan's been talking about, like wreck diving and treasure hunts and all that kind of thing. So there should be lots of really good content coming out, after Christmas, that will again improve performance and also create new really interesting content with new interesting challenges.
Yeah, that will also lead us to actually having a full-on fishing system as well, where you can actually fish for fish. Um, you know, other than just collecting fish from the nets. So there's lots in the works. I'm going to post a
Absolutely.
link here. So if you want to carry on watching this current build that we've just put out, there's a few things that we've showcased that may not be completely in the current build, but Max over on his channel now streaming the latest build. That is not available yet until tomorrow on the staging branch. So make sure that if you don't know how to get onto the staging branch and you want to check it out, jump onto our Discord, discord.gg/playjoegame, and one of the moderators or one of the community members can help you get onto the staging branch if you're on Steam. Of course, again, that's something else that Epic do not have, is a additional branches that you can switch to. So if you have got the game on Epic, I'm afraid that's not going to be available to you, and I do apologise for that. But that's about it. If you did enjoy it, we will probably try and do this for every major update that we do bring out, which will probably be sort of like once every 3 to 4 weeks. Stage and branch gets updated a lot more. It's normally sort of every few days. We haven't been while we've been doing this build, but it will be afterwards. And yeah, I think that's about it. I've got anyone else got anything to say?
Nope, just a reminder that 17th is the day that we go out. Sorry, didn't I?
I was going to say, I just wanted to say thanks to everyone for following the stream, checking in, being part of our community.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for joining us.
And make sure to pop over to Mac and give him some support as well. He's been amazing for our team. If half the bugs that we find is from sitting there watching his streams, and 9 times out of 10 I'm in there. Alright, Twisted. 9 times out of 10 myself and Norfar are in there watching the stream anyway. So we will see you all later. Thanks again, and we will see you next time.
Bye.